My name's Mia, and I have hypermobile air loss Danlos syndrome, mast cell activation syndrome, and probably dysautonomia. I received a diagnosis this year, so a few months ago, but I've been actively struggling with symptoms since I was 14. I just didn't know that. I didn't know that all my symptoms were connected until recently, and I didn't know that there was something wrong. I just would go to the doctors a lot for lots of different things. So yeah, since a teenager. Yeah. I'm now 30. I think before Mobilates, everything was more of a mystery. So, and also exercise for me was a mystery because I love being active and doing things, but I thought it was normal to hurt afterwards, or like be incredibly stiff or not be able to keep up. Like I actually thought I was unfit because of the way my body reacted to exercise. I've always been really active. Like I like watching telly in bed, but also I like doing stuff. So I've always, like, when I was little, I did gymnastics, which should have been another sign. I was dancing. Like my family is very active and fit, like lots of walking, and swimming and things like that. PE at school was always hard because I just always really struggled with kind of the sporty things and the running and that kind of thing. And then as I got older, I do certain classes, but it always felt too intense, or I would my body would just react poorly to I have a job where my schedule is always a bit mad, so I've never been able to go to a physical class because either the times don't work, or always I'm tired after work. I don't like then going out to a class. Like, work is the one thing I do in a day, and then that's it. But I think the big appeal to me was because it was online and I could do it from home, and also that I could book onto it but do a recording of it when my schedule works better. And just being around people who are very similar to me or have similar experiences. I can do exercise but not feel like my body is broken, which I found out is not a normal response to exercise. I just want my body to be stronger so that I can deal with my symptoms better or reduce them, because I find it too hard to do physio exercises by myself. So having someone, but also knowing that the class is essentially kind of one giant physio, like what I'm doing is helping me. So I don't feel as bad for not doing my physio exercises, because I'm like, well, I'm doing this Pilates class, so that's fine. I've learned a lot about my condition being part of this group, because everybody's living with something similar. So they'll say something that I actually maybe don't realize is a symptom, or, you know, like the fidgety thing, or walking into things. I just thought I was clumsy. I'm not. I've got a medical reason for why I walk into doors and walls and tables and everything. But having other people say that is such a relief, and it makes you feel so less alone, because I think one of the worst things about EDS for me is it makes me feel so isolated and so alone. I've got amazing friends and amazing family, but when I'm having a flare up, it's just me in bed, and I hate that so much. And I'm such a social person. Like, my job is really social. I love being around people, but I always feel like my EDS is trying to turn me into a hermit, and I'm not a hermit, and I hate that. I get really angry about it, and then I get really sad, and the loneliness is the worst feeling sometimes, I think. So being around people where you just don't have to explain yourself. And I have got lovely friends where I don't have to explain myself, but just having a shorthand. I like to go into the coffee mornings, but I can't always get to them. But even the classes, it's just it's nice seeing the same faces, and you get to know people through that, and just knowing there is a community there that you can lean on if you want and if you need to as well is really nice. I think I feel more empowered to make decisions about my body, more empowered to do something with my body, just exercise wise. And also, like, I get really angry and frustrated at myself when I can't do something. Especially when I'm having flare-ups and I'm having to cancel things, I can't see my friends, I just can't function in the way that I want to. And that's a really hard thing to accept and process. But I always find being in Mobilates, it's always so positive about being strong or being as strong as you can. It's not a visual thing, like it doesn't matter what your body looks like. And also I don't necessarily, my body self-consciousness doesn't necessarily come from what it looks like. I think I struggle more with what it can't do, and being part of this group shows me that I can still do stuff, and I can do stuff to help my body keep doing the things that I want to do. And it doesn't necessarily mean that all my symptoms will disappear and I will function like a healthy person again, but it helps me with a better mindset of not being mad at my body and trying to be kinder to myself. I think is the atmosphere of the group. It's just, and it gives me the confidence to kind of go through life with a disability, because that is what it is, and I do have to kind of say that now. But Mobilates helps me figure out how to live with it when I don't really know how to.